What's up, you guys? I'm Dan, this is Frugal Not Cheap, and today we'll talk about the demise of Facebook's Diem cryptocurrency project. So it's February of 2022, and about 8 months ago, I put out a video about the first cryptocurrency that I was really excited about. It was Facebook Financial's effort to put out a global coin that would have been backed by real assets and tied to a basket of currency. The coin was going to be called Libra, and the wallet was going to be called Calibra. And I watched this really interesting pre-launch discussion hosted by the OMFIF and presented by the Diem chief economist, Christian Catalini. He did a great job, got me really excited about the technology behind the coin, just the idea and all of the great lengths that they were going to make this a really viable project. And of course, it was even more exciting because there's a huge potential user base. Facebook has loads of users on its own, but they also own Instagram and WhatsApp. A global currency with a huge user base, billions of users, that's not under direct control of central banks is something that they might not like because it reduces their ability to enact monetary policy. And they did, in fact, receive a lot of pushback from regulators and central banks. They rebranded with the currency now called Diem and with the wallet now called Novi. And so 5 months later, I gave another update. They adjusted their plan a little bit after consultation with regulators. And so rather than having a multi-currency backed coin, a global one, they were now going to have currency specific coins. And so they would have a US dollar stablecoin. They would also have a euro stablecoin and a British pound stablecoin. But they did, of course, hold out possible plans for a future multi-currency. So this was not as great as originally conceived, not as exciting, but still, if they could get the ball rolling, I thought that would be great. And if they could eventually have that multi-currency coin, that would be really cool as well. Then in the fall of 2021, we finally saw a little bit of activity. And I put a video about this as well when I signed up for the pilot, is that the Diem Association finally launched the wallet. So they launched the Novi wallet, but at the time they still had not launched the Diem cryptocurrency. So we had the wallet, but we didn't have the coin that we wanted to hold in that wallet. So this was unfortunate, but they were saying that they still had plans to eventually roll out the currency. Instead, at launch, the Novi wallet was partnered with Paxos Trust Company, and so you could still transact using Paxos's USDP one-to-one US dollar stablecoin. But of course, this is not nearly as exciting to me as the Diem coin. So again, at this stage, they were still saying that they plan to launch the Diem coin in the future, and I remain hopeful that they'd be able to appease regulators and get that to happen. Late last month, however, it came to light that Facebook had likely thrown in the towel. There were rumors that Diem was going to be selling off all of its assets and ending the effort to launch the currency. We don't have any official word, at least as of the time of this filming, but indications are basically that the Diem Association was working with a bank called Silvergate. It's a crypto-focused bank, and this bank was going to be launching the Diem coin. However, this bank received a lot of pressure from the Federal Reserve, and this really was the sort of final nail in the coffin for Diem. It's reported that the Diem Association will be selling its Diem associated assets to Silvergate, actually, for $50 million in cash and $132 million in stock. So for now, that's the end of the story. At least it is for Facebook. It's unclear what Silvergate is going to do with those assets in the future, whether or not they will launch another, stablecoin using all that technology at some point in the future, maybe rebranding it to a different name. But however they do it, it's just not going to have the same punch as it was going to coming from Facebook with their gigantic user base. Again, that was really the interesting thing, and also the great lengths that they put in order to make it scalable, to be able to handle a lot of transactions and really be a real payment system, unlike Bitcoin, and the way that it was going to be really strongly asset backed with a lot of stringency, both in terms of leverage and reserves, and then also in terms of the security and safety behind it as well. So it was a really promising project, and when I look at it, I think really its downfall was the fact that it's Facebook, right? That Facebook has received a ton of really negative press, and its image has been really marred in recent years. First with the whole Cambridge Analytica scandal, and then more recently with the sort of whistleblower. In general, they don't have a good name. They're a little bit too big, and so I think that was really ultimately their downfall. So, well, remains to be seen what's going to happen in the future. But for right now, unfortunately, when I look out in the, at what's out there, I'm just not seeing anything exciting in the cryptocurrency space. Anything that I think really has legs in order for us to adopt as something that we use every day. Now, maybe we'll see some central bank digital currencies in the future, some CBDCs. We'll see, I don't know. But at the same time, when I look at this story with Diem, what we really have here is a case where there was really something innovative that was put out there that, really could have changed things. And really, politics and heavy regulation, killed innovation, really what happened. This could have gone a different way, especially if Facebook hadn't had such a negative image in the public eye, right? Politically, that was a real major issue. It could have been the case instead that the regulators and the central bank, the Fed, would have worked with Facebook to make this something that was viable, for both parties. So, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on things. Of course, I'll keep you updated if Diem comes back from the dead somehow. But for now, rest in peace. If you found this update helpful, do please hit the like button. Really helps out the channel. Also, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.